Welcome, future Spartans. I am Dr. Brett Carter, and I'm the Associate Vice Chancellor and Dean of Students here at UNCG. My job gives me the opportunity to work with our student body every single day, and I can tell you, I am consistently inspired by them. Spartans are driven, Spartans are leaders, and Spartans generally care about each other. Now, before I hand you off to tonight's panel, I want to touch base on an important point that I just talked about, and that is creating a culture of care. You see, here at UNCG, our faculty and staff are committed to making sure you have the right tools and resources to help you be successful and able to achieve your academic goals. Beyond all this, the great thing about being a part of such a close-knit campus community is that it means you get the opportunity to move past superficial and drive right to building relationships and having fun. So there's a lot going on here at UNC Greensboro, and I am so glad that you're here today with us. Thank you.
Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this evening. Welcome to another live stream brought to you by the admissions office here at UNC Greensboro. My name is Trey. I am our host this evening, and tonight we are talking about all of the student services that we offer here at UNCG. There's a lot of different things that we offer, and I am a proud alumni of this university, and I am able to say that I have used just about every single one of these resources that we are going to be talking about this evening. So if you have any questions, I really do encourage you to text us so that way we can answer any questions that you have. You can see the texting number there is at the bottom of your screen, so that way we can answer any questions that you might have about all of our student services. Let's go ahead and meet our panel. I would love for our panel to introduce themselves so that way we can get to know you. I'm going to start with the person who is in the square right next to mine. So that is our representative from the Accessibility and Resources Office. That is Tina. So Tina, go ahead and introduce yourself so that way we can get to know who you are.
Hi, I'm Tina Vyers, Director for the Office of Accessibility and Resources and Services, and my pronouns are she and her.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tina. All right, the person in the box right beside me, that is Michael Clinton from Career and Professional Development. Michael, tell us who you are and what you do here.
Hi, my name is Michael Clinton. I am the Employer Relations Specialist within Career and Professional Development, also a proud alum, hopefully to be a second alum in the springtime. So yeah, glad to be here.
Very nice, thank you. Let's go to the person who's in the box below me. That is Brad Wren from our Military Affiliated Students and Services Office. So Brad, tell us who you are and what you do here.
Hi folks, I'm Brad Wren. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm also a proud alum of UNC Greensboro, and I'm the director for military affiliated services, and that's just what it sounds like. If anyone of our students or applicants is in any way affiliated with the military, my job is to make sure that they have the best experience possible here at UNCG.
Very nice. And right below Brad, that is Shelly from our Dean of Students Office. Shelly, tell us who you are and what you do here, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Shelly Wald, and I'm the Associate Dean of Students. And in my role, I oversee the Dean of Students Office and the Office of Rights and Responsibilities. And I'm excited to be here with y'all.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we are joined by two very smart students who are just diagonally to me. So that is two of our Spartan Guides. Megan, you have been a very popular participant on our live chats. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do here at UNCG, if our viewers do not already know.
Yeah, so hi guys, I am Megan, and I'm a current student and a Spartan Guide, and I'm actually a junior studying finance here at the university.
Very nice. Thank you so much. And last but certainly not least, our Spartan Guide, Deja. Deja, tell us who you are, what you're studying here, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Deja Kenyon. I'm a senior communication studies major, and I'm also a Spartan Guide.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much for being here. I know we're going to have a wonderful conversation tonight. So let's go ahead and get things started off. And I would like to begin things with our Dean of Students Office. So Shelly, if you don't mind, just give us a bit of a brief introduction and overview of what our Dean of Students Office is. I think people sometimes think that it's like going to the principal's office, which I know is not necessarily the truth, but let's hear what you got.
You're right. It's not like going to the principal's office. So the Dean of Students Office exists to promote students. We provide resources and options to our students, and we advocate for our students. We're really the go-to place when a student doesn't know where to go. We help students to understand university policies and to understand how to navigate the institution. So we get lots of questions and concerns on every single thing you think about at the institution. So we're really a one-stop shop for our students. We advocate for our students when they need more from a different department or aren't really sure who to talk to over there. We also help our students to really understand the best ways in which to navigate the institution to be as successful as possible. So it's really our job to provide that culture of care to our students and to make sure that every single student feels like they're here to be successful and to feels like they have all the tips and tools that they need in order to do everything they need to do at UNCG and beyond.
Very nice. Thank you so much. I know we heard Dr. Carter say at the very beginning of our stream that UNCG does promote a culture of care, and I believe that is the absolute truth. Having been a student and now also a staff person here at UNCG, I believe that we are a very caring university, and we all want everyone to succeed, and we all want everyone to be healthy in whatever way that we can. Let's hear next from our Career and Professional Development Office. So Michael, give us an idea of what you do, and how you help students.
So career and professional development, the three functions that you'll kind of structure or you'll come into contact with will be our career development team, our student employment office, and then employer relations. So we'll kind of go in that order. First, career and development, they're going to be there that's where our career coaches and assistant directors sit. So if you want to do career exploration, if you want to know what your strengths are or what you may want to do, if you need help exploring that, that's where you're going to go to get those kind of that help. You'll also be able to go to them if you need help with your resume or if you want to do a mock interview and things like that. So they help you in all that framework. So that's just a little snippet of what they do. They definitely go and deep dive into a lot more content. And then you will see our student employment office is where if you want to work on campus, so if you need your I-9 card, which is going to be something you need if you want to work on campus, or if you're looking for on-campus employment, our student employment office is going to be there to help you in that way. And then my office, employer relations. So our task is to make and develop partnerships with different organizations, different companies to make sure that our students have as many opportunities as possible. So my main function is to go out and build those relationships so that those companies or organizations can come here and provide those students with internships, provide those students with jobs, post-graduation, as well as while they're here. So whether you're looking for a part-time, whether you look for a full-time or internship, we're going to be here to help you through that process.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I just want to remind all of our viewers that we are joined by a couple of our student employees here. So if you do have any questions about working on campus or finding a job anywhere, be it work study or otherwise, I encourage you to ask. So you can see our texting number is down on the bottom of the screen. So send us in your questions so that way we can answer them for you. I don't want to leave anyone hanging out there. All right, let's hear from Tina in our Accessibility and Resources Office. Tina, give us an idea of what the Office of Accessibility, Resources, and Services does. I think it's a pretty all-encompassing title, don't you?
Sure, thanks, Trey. Accessibility Resources exist to provide access to all the different areas of our community, our campus community, for Bright College students who happen to have disabilities. So if you're someone who has something going on with you that creates an impact in a major life activity and you need an accommodation for that, then my office is the one that you want to come to. So I would say if you have ADHD and you might need, for example, extra time on tests because you get so distracted and you need to keep refocusing yourself, then come see my office. If you have extreme level anxiety and that causes some issues that you might need accommodations for, come to my office. If you're one of those students who come to campus and you just say, oh, you know what, I had some accommodations in high school, but I want to try it on my own to begin with, that's fine. Go ahead and connect with us and let us get the information available so that at some point, say midterms or somewhere comes up and you decide, you know what, I'm going to do a lot better if I do have that extra time or distraction-reduced environment to take my test or some other type of accommodation, then we already have everything ready and we can make it happen immediately without you having to wait. The last thing that we want to do is think about sending your best friend off to, say, Clemson for college, and that your best friend is insulin dependent. And so you send them off and you say, leave your insulin here, just try it by yourself for the semester. What's going to happen? your friend is going to have a problem. They may go into a diabetic coma. We don't want that to happen. So here at UNCG, we also don't want you to fall into an academic coma. So get what you need from the start. Let us help you be successful. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I wouldn't have thought about comparing it to a situation like you described it with an insulin-dependent student, but that is a really, really incredible analogy, and I appreciate the connection there. Alrighty, so Brad, you are in our military-affiliated students and services office. UNCG is a yellow ribbon school, and for anyone who does not know, that means that we are incredibly kind and incredibly accommodating to all of our military-affiliated students. I don't want to take away any of your wind, so tell us what your office does. Give us an overview of who you are and what y'all can do for us.
Sure. So our office really does anything and everything related to any students who are in any way affiliated with the military. And I know that sounds a little redundant, but usually, well, in a lot of schools, offices like ours are called Veterans Resource Centers or Veterans Offices, Veterans Services Offices. But we intentionally named ours the Office of Military Affiliated Services because we don't just serve those folks. We also serve military family members. We serve National Guard members and reserve personnel, folks who are on active duty, who are not necessarily veterans, even people who are getting ready to go into the military, but are in school now. So people in the ROTC programs, anybody and everybody who has to do with the military falls under our purview. And there's a lot of stuff that those folks need. One of the things that we do, we kind of have a dual function office. So we do a lot of student affairs type programming in partnership with other offices like the Dean of Students Office and ORS and Office of Leadership and Civic Engagement and Career and Professional Development. And we do a lot of fun stuff. We do a lot of service work here in the community, but we also have a kind of a function in that we help process GI Bill benefits because it's our belief that getting people paid and getting their school paid for is a key part of their positive experience at UNCG. So if you're using GI Bill benefits, any kind of benefits at all related to the military, really tuition assistance, anything like that, that all comes through our office. And we like to take an individualized approach to our students. So you got our number. It's, let's see. Yep, I'm pointing to the right side. It's right there. That's our contact info. So reach out if you have any questions, or if you have any questions right now, you can answer them or ask them, and I'll answer them here on this live stream.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Having family members who are veterans and who have gone through their service, I know how important it is to have a support system when navigating through VA benefits. So I definitely appreciate that we have this resource here at UNCG. I do want to talk to our students, so Deja and Megan. It's often easier for people and viewers especially to understand how each office works by hearing from how you, the student, have used those services before. So let's I want to ask Deja first. Have you used any of the services or anything that we have on the panel this evening, or just any in general here at UNCG?
I've definitely used the Career and Professional Development Center before. I had to definitely clean up my resume. So they have something called VMOC, and we actually use this in RA training. I'm pretty sure Shelly probably remembers as well. So we did a workshop where we were able to bring in our resumes, and we used VMOC, and that's basically a system where it grades your resume for you. So it's definitely giving me a lot of good feedback and just things I should work on. I had to go there to get my I-9 card to even become a resident advisor, a Spartan Guide, or orientation leader. So definitely one of my favorite offices. I love that I know that they'll help me here while I'm a student at UNCG, but also when I do leave, alumni.
Very nice. Yeah, it's important to remember that our career and professional development services do stick with you even after you graduate. So you can always come back and talk to Michael Clinton's wonderful face, and he will be able to help you out. Megan, how about yourself? Have you used any of the services that we've got here at UNCG?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I've honestly used all of them. Actually, I used to work in career and professional development with Michael as a brand ambassador. So I'm very, very familiar with that office. I've actually used it in the past before. I actually used one of their strong valuations to help me figure out kind of like my career path and my major. So, and I've also attended many of their career fairs, and they help me with my resume. So I've definitely am very well aware of career and professional development. I've used them and I've worked with them. I've also worked with the Dean of Students. I've actually met with Brett Carter a few times, and so they're a really great service. I really commend them for all they do for our students. And then over the summer, I worked with Brad through military services. I was actually an orientation leader, but my family is actually, my dad is a retired officer from the Navy. And so we really got to talk about that and bond over that for a little bit. And then the Accessibility and Resources Office, I actually talked to them before as well. About some accommodations and different things like that in my own personal life. So honestly, all these offices are really amazing, and I've personally utilized them before. So I definitely would suggest students also utilize them as well.
Wonderful. It's always nice to know that we've got good representation from both the user side and also the provider side on all of our services. And it's important to note also that as a UNCG student, you are entitled to use all of these services. Everything that you see here on your screen tonight is paid for through your tuition. So use these services. We have them available for you, and they are here to help. They're never going to hurt you. So make sure that you come and talk to everyone that you see here today. All right, I do want to answer a couple of questions that we've got here from our viewers. And the first question that I think I'm going to ask is for Brad. Are there any specific forms that I need to fill out before applying or post-enrollment to UNCG?
Oh, that is a great question.
Lots of those.
Yes is the short answer. If you are using the GI Bill, there are forms that you need to fill out. Typically, I tell folks to wait until they get their acceptance letter. That usually gives us a lot of time or enough time to process everything through the VA, because I don't know if you all know this or not, but the VA, not the most nimble organization on the planet. They take a little while to do their stuff. And so we want to make sure you got time to make sure you get paid with enough time to pay your student account balance. Once that happens, once you get your acceptance letter, you can go to that webpage that's right there, military.uncg. Did I just put the email up there? It's just the email, but the webpage is the same. It's military.uncg.edu. Just replace the @ with a dot and you're there. And you just look, there's a tab that says education benefits, and it will walk you right through your first steps. It literally says first steps, your first semester at UNCG, here's what you need to do. And it will walk you through all the forms. There'll be links to everywhere you need to go. And, like I said before, we take an individualized approach to all of you. And so if you get to a point in that process, either getting in touch with the VA or getting in touch with us or getting forms filled out or submitted, and you just need some help, reach out. We're there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and we'll walk you through the whole thing.
Good to know. And it's also important to note, I think you mentioned this, that we do have VA certifying officials here with us. So you can
they're in our office. We're all together. So we like to think of ourselves as a one-stop shop too. So for anything and everything that you need, military-wise or VA-wise, just come see us.
Very nice. Alrighty, so the next question that I have here is actually for our Dean of Students office. So Shelly, I'm a parent and I would like to have access to my students' educational records. What do I need to do?
Sure. So I'm sure you've probably heard about FERPA. So it is the federal guideline that protects our students' information at the institution. As a parent myself, although my children are not even close to college age, I understand the desire and want to be involved in your child's education, and that is fantastic. We love family members that want to advocate for their students and be a part of their experience here, because most certainly you are a huge support system for them and help them to be successful during their time at UNCG. Once your student enrolls at the institution and starts their educational degree, all of their records are theirs. And so it's up to them to determine if they want to share that with you. Now, we hope that you'll have some conversations before your student comes to UNCG. A lot of things, safety, what classes do you want to take? What do you need from me? How can I send you money? These are great conversations to have before your student gets here. But one of those is, how much do you want me to know? And how can I help you to be successful? For some of our students, that means sharing their grades and sharing how they're doing at the end of each semester with their family members, because it's a good accountability tool. For some students, it's a lot of pressure, and so they don't share that information. Now, students are able to let us know if they want us to share information with a family member, and we can do that. There's a form that a student would fill out that you can find on our website, but it's not a blanket form. So it's not a form you fill out once, and then anytime we interact with your student over the course of hopefully just their 5 years during their undergrad career that they're on campus, that we would call you about everything. Now, we do call family members emergency contacts. If a student is transported to the hospital, and if there are major health or safety concerns, those are things we involve our family members in, those emergency contacts. So it'd be important to be listed as an emergency contact if you'd like to make sure that you're involved in that. Otherwise, it's about opening that line of communication and having that conversation with the student. Now, that does not mean that we don't talk to family members. I talk to family members all the time. And we can share a lot of things. Well, this is what a student would need to do. Or if a student was facing that, this is probably what I would share for them to do. Or it sounds like this might be what's happening. Most of the time, we really encourage the family members to get the student in our door, because unfortunately, sometimes what they share with you isn't 100% as to what's going on. And we want to make sure we're giving the best advice and the right information to the student. And sometimes we just need them virtually right now in our office to come clean, to tell us all the things, so we can give them that support and that advice and then send them on their way. We always encourage them to loop in those people in their life that are important to them, because again, we know that that's a strong support network. So we are happy to talk to family members, just like anyone else at the institution, about processes, policies, procedures, what they should do, how they should encourage their student. Those kinds of things are conversations we always have. But a student would have to sign off if they wanted a family member to have direct, very specific information about their time at the institution. And that's for every office on campus.
Very nice. Thank you so much for that information. It's always good to know that we do have the ability to share, and we always want to make sure that the students and the family members are having that dialogue together, because good communication is absolutely key. One of our next questions here is for Tina. And Tina, the question is, if I have a physical disability, is there any way that I can work with your office to get some accommodations for living on campus or getting around campus?
Oh, absolutely. Please reach out to us at ors@uncg.edu. You can also find a lot of information on the website. So if you go to UNCG's website and just search for ORS, you can get a lot of information there. But you might find additional help by just reaching out to us directly to help you navigate whatever it is that you need. Yes, we're happy to work with you and look forward to meeting you soon.
Very nice. Thank you. UNCG is in general a very accessible campus, and we always want to make sure that we are providing as much access and as much help as possible. Alrighty, so our next question here is for Michael. I am an undecided student, and I'm really not sure what I want to do after graduation. Are there any resources in the Career and Professional Development Office for people in my situation?
Yes, so I would definitely encourage the student to, or whoever was in this situation, to go and handshake and make an appointment with one of our career coaches. So career coaches are here to give you those assessments. So it can be Myers-Briggs, it can be strong interest, or a plethora of other resources that they can utilize to help you figure out what you're good at, so that they can kind of guide you into what may be the best fit career for you. And then we always encourage students to make that appointment, set that appointment, and then go explore. We have wonderful Students First office here that will also help you kind of figure things out while you're in that undecided phase, and we're here to help you on that career front. And then we have many opportunities that will come through. So we always allow students to come to our career fairs and things like that, just to kind of see and get a feel for how things are going to be, talk to some employers to see what they can do to kind of give you some advice on what they do or what they did to find those things. So there's going to be a plethora of resources for you to help you, to navigate you into the right direction, to help you find the career path that may be best fit for you.
Very nice. Thank you. And Michael, could you tell us a little bit about what Handshake is for anyone
Yeah.
who might not have heard of it?
Yeah, so Handshake is the platform that we utilize for pretty much all things in career and professional development. So it's a platform that every student has whenever that you are um, coming to UNCG. We put you in Handshake and you just activate that Handshake account once you get here. Again, it covers a lot of different things from it's a job board. So if you're looking for a part-time, on campus, full-time jobs or anything like that, you will have all those postings there. We do personally approve every single posting to make sure that it's valid and it's vetted for our students. So myself as well as our team would do that. Also, if you want to get headshots, we do provide free headshots for all of our students. So if you want to do that to update your LinkedIn profiles or your Handshake profile, you can set an appointment in Handshake to do that. Or if you want to set an appointment with a career coach inside of Handshake, you can do that as well. With us being in this virtual space, our career fairs are actually in that same platform at the current moment as well. So Handshake is a one-stop shop to get pretty much everything that you need done with career and professional development done in that way. So just again, overall, it's a platform used here to help you navigate through a variety of different journeys here while you're a student here, and as well when you're alumni, because you will have the chance to switch your account over to your alumni account once you have graduated from the institution, and you will have the same access to those things.
Very nice. Good to know. Thank you so much. Megan and Deja, I know whenever this is going to date us a little bit, whenever y'all were applying to be a Spartan Guide, we did not use Handshake yet, but we do now. Have y'all had any other interactions on Handshake or applying or going to career fairs or anything else with that? Let's start with Deja first.
I actually haven't had much usage of Handshake because by the time that I was a resident advisor, a Spartan Guide, by that time we weren't using Handshake. I wish I would have, but I still think like my friends, I know some of them that use it and they've actually found internships, which is really good. A lot of my friends, they attended the career fair that just happened this past semester, and I think we have one next semester as well. I plan on attending that one, if it's still virtual or not. So I'm looking forward to. I've heard great things about it, and like I said before, like a lot of my friends and I tell also, in the past, my residents or just other people as students to definitely use any of the resources that we have at UNCG.
Very nice. Yeah, Handshake is a little bit new. Megan, how about yourself?
So I have used Handshake in the past a few times. So I actually made one of my classes in my business course. They had me actually make a Handshake profile and then like really spruce it up to make it really, really nice. And that was like our big project in the end of the semester. So I've used that before. And then I've actually also applied for different jobs on campus through that as well. I've applied to be an orientation leader through Handshake. I've also applied to be a brand ambassador for career and professional development through Handshake. And actually, crazy thing, uh, a college representative from Northwestern Mutual Company actually saw my Handshake profile and was like, wow, this is really great. And she emailed me and she told me that I should actually apply for their internship program. And then, I applied, went through all these different stages, and I'm actually interning with Northwestern Mutual right now. So Handshake has really like put me in connections through all different variety of places, whether it's on campus or off campus. So.
That is fantastic. Well, congratulations, Megan, on your internship. I've got a friend who works for Northwestern, so you might see her around. Let's stay talking to our Spartan guys because I just like talking to y'all. Y'all are pretty cool. One of the questions that we've got here from a student viewer is, I am a little bit nervous about college level coursework. What services are available to help me navigate the course load? Megan, since you were talking last, let's go with you still.
So we actually have a ton of different academic help that are outside of the classroom to really help our students. We have individual as well as group tutoring, and then we also have different centers that can help students. But I think one of the things that I utilize the most, and I think is the most important, are our professors' office hours. And so that's where our professors are just sitting in their office waiting for students to ask them questions. They even sometimes put incentives in their office for students students to come by. One of my nutrition professors, she had a freezer in her office, and every time a student would come by, she would give them a popsicle or a lollipop or anything like that, just saying, like, thank you so much for visiting me and like not leaving me alone in my office hours, because our professors really like to see our students and see them outside of the classroom.
Fantastic. Dang, I wish my professors had popsicles. That'd be awesome. Deja, how about yourself?
Like Megan mentioned, we have a lot of different resources, and some of my favorite resources are the center, the writing center, and the speaking center. With communication studies, I definitely need the speaking center and also the writing center as well. We have a lot of oral presentations that we're giving, or even just papers or essays that we're writing as well. So I've definitely used both centers, and I've actually had professors tell me like, hey, like, I want you to use this center and you can actually get extra credit. So it's it's a win-win for both sides. The speaking center, like I said, if you have any oral presentations, with your permission, they can actually record you and they'll give you recommendations or suggestions on how to make your presentation better. I always tell students for any process like of the writing process, whether you're at the outline stage or whether you're at the very, very end and you just need someone to proofread, they'll do it all for you. And like we said before, all these centers are free, so use them.
Good to know. It's always nice to know that we've got resources available and that we have used them before. Let me see what our next question is. Brad, let's talk about scholarships. So are there any scholarships or grants available to students who are veterans or military affiliated, and how can they find those?
Oh yeah, there are lots. So one of the ones that we always uh, suggest is the North Carolina Children of Wartime Vet Scholarship. You can find a link to that scholarship on our website. It is for folks who are Chapter 35 eligible using Chapter 35 GI Bill benefits. It's really anybody who is the child of a wartime vet, but typically it's awarded to people who are Chapter 35 eligible. So that's someone whose sponsor is 100% disabled due to a service-connected illness or injury. And it's pretty much a full ride. That's why we suggest anybody apply for that one who thinks they might be eligible for it. We do a couple of internal scholarships. We actually just got done with a round of $1,000 scholarships. We do 9 per semester with the Rotary Club. Those are specifically for service members. And other than that, there are lots of additional scholarships just through, national organizations like the VFW, the American Legion, the USO, and just a couple like that. We've got some listed on our website, but it's not by any means a comprehensive list. My suggestion, if you're looking for that kind of stuff, is just to get online and start looking for scholarships for vets. And the advice I always give to folks is go after the smaller ones, because everybody tries to go after these great, huge $10,000, $15,000 scholarships, but there's a lot of $500, $750 scholarships that just get left on. So those should be ones that you focus on.
Very nice. Good to know. And you said those are all on your website. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. But our website should not be considered a comprehensive list of every scholarship available to vets in America, because it is by no means that. Look on Google, you will find oodles of them.
Good to know. Thank you so much, Brad. Alrighty, I do have a question here for Shelly. So this is especially relevant, especially considering that we are in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. So as one of our viewers is asking, as members of the UNCG community, we all know how health and safety and encouraging the UNCG campus is. But how does the Dean of Students office continue to work to keep this in place, to make sure that we are staying as helpful and encouraging as possible?
Sure. So I sit on lots of phone calls where we talk about COVID every week, and how we're doing as an institution, things that we need to be doing better, but we collaborate a whole lot. But we've really worked hard with all of our students, and I'm sure Megan and Deja hopefully agree with this, but really saying it's up to you. We have so many faculty and staff, but we have so many more students on our campus. And so it's really up to our students to keep us here. And so we need everyone to follow the CDC guidelines, to follow university policy and procedure. So we've really put that message out really soon and early on. We did a lot of work over the summer as to how do we help keep people safe? How do we partner with housing and student health services to make sure that we're getting the information out? Our office also is the umbrella office for the Office of Rights and Responsibilities, which is like going to the principal's office. And so for students that fail to follow those policies and those guidelines, they're held accountable. We know our students don't want to go home. A lot of our students, UNCG is their home. And if they aren't able to stay on campus here, that doesn't make things easier for them. So we want to keep all of our students here. But we've worked really hard to make sure that we've been very clear with our student population. How do we keep students here? What do we need them to do? What do we need faculty and staff to do? And have been very clear about reporting guidelines. We have a COVID reporting form that anyone's able to access to submit information. We've worked with campus police and the Greensboro Police Department to make sure that our students that live off campus are following guidelines, especially when it comes to large gatherings, but really have tried hard to hit home that message that we are one community and we have to look after each other. And I'm incredibly impressed that we are here. And unfortunately, not all of our colleagues can say the same. And I think that's because we have very unique students and very unique faculty and staff who truly care and truly want to stay on campus and keep everyone healthy and as safe as they can. So everyone has really committed the people time and the financial resources to make sure that we're being safe and to make sure that we're staying here as best we can. So we continue to work with students to make sure that they're doing what they need to do. We do what we need to do because we're also role models. And so I haven't had to address a single student or a faculty or staff member the days I'm on campus about, wearing a face covering or social distancing if they're outside. So we're fortunate that everyone has felt like they're in this together and that they want to follow these guidelines.
Very nice. Thank you, Shelley. And you're absolutely right. And as you mentioned, and Dr. Carter mentioned in the video prior to the stream beginning, UNCG has an incredible culture of care and everyone really does care about each other. And we want to make sure that we're all being safe and we want to make sure that everyone is doing the right thing. I do want to talk to our students, Megan and Deja. Deja, tell us what it's like being in class right now, especially with a lot of things being virtual, a lot of things being inaccessible in person, and how are people handling it?
Yeah, so actually, I'm at home in Raleigh. I take all my classes online, and that's actually been doing pretty well, I would say. I know some students, they have a hybrid option where they are taking classes online and then also taking some classes that are in person. But my professors have been able to give a lot of us grace during this time and understanding that we are in a global pandemic. So they are very understanding. And like Shelley talked about before, just having that culture of care. That's one of the things that I always loved about UNCG, knowing that my professors are here for me and that they really do care. So even though classes are all online for me, it still feels like in some way I'm in the classroom. We're still able to have those great discussions with each other.
Very nice, Megan. How about yourself?
So I actually live on campus and I'm still taking hybrid classes in person and online. So just about every day I do have some sort of in-person class, but they're always for different ones. And on the other half of the days that I'm supposed to be in person, I actually attend virtually. So like Deja said, the professors are really accommodating. They understand that we're only meeting half the time, which is half the material, which is quite a bit. And so professors are really doing all they can so students can get that accessibility. And then within the classroom, you'll notice that there's significantly a lot less students in the lecture, and the staff have actually taken the time to like block off these seats and make sure students are wearing their face coverings and social distancing to make sure that students are safe, faculty are safe. So yeah, I really haven't had any issues on campus because I feel as if the staff and the students and the faculty are really taking our safety as like a #1 priority. So.
Yeah, safety is definitely an absolute priority here for us. I gotta say, having worked at home for a while, I am glad to be back. I am glad that we were able to have our students here on campus, at least some of y'all. hopefully all of us soon. But it is always nice to have a college that looks like a college and have students around here. So next I want to ask Tina this question. So Tina, one of our viewers is asking, how can we find out what accommodations our student, this sounds like it could be a parent, what accommodations our student could receive before school starts?
So again, reach out to us at ors@uncg.edu or check us out on the website. I will say that this is a multi-level question, because when we meet with students who want to self-identify that there's something going on that impacts a major life activity, the interactive process is really, really critical. And the biggest portion of that is what's going on with you and how does it impact you? For example, if 10 students met with me and each one identified as having ADHD, depending on their actual impact academically, each one of them could walk away with a different accommodation letter. So that's the big part. We want to know what's going on with you and how does it impact you. After we get that information, then we're going to look at maybe any history of accommodations that the student may have had in the past, or even as a transfer student, or things that might have been recommended for them that they didn't follow up on, but now with the additional rigor of college, they feel like they might need. And then the last thing that we're going to do is take a look at any documentation that the student might have to put that together with the requests that they're making to make sure that they're reasonable. We also work with students to help them obtain the documentation if they do feel like they have a condition impacting a major life activity, but maybe haven't been diagnosed yet. So we can help them go through that process and perhaps even provide provisional accommodations in the meanwhile. So again, it totally depends on the impact of the student, but some of the most common accommodations are related to testing, such as extended time for test or a distraction-reduced environment. Sometimes students who have perhaps severe dyslexia might need their tests read aloud with computer software, or they might need an amplifier, an FM system in their classroom so that they can hear what's going on, or perhaps they communicate with sign language and they will need an American Sign Language interpreter in the classroom, or in these days as a side on their screen to get the information to them. There are so many different things that I don't want to give you I don't want to give you an exhaustive list. There are just too many options out there, and it totally depends on the impact of the situation. And then we'll talk about creatively what accommodations could be best for your student.
And that's why it's important to talk to you. That is why all of our students who feel like they may need some kind of accommodation, just give us a call. We are able to help. Let's see, Michael, our next question is, we know that the Career and Professional Development Office helps UNCG seniors searching for jobs. Is there anything that students who maybe aren't seniors, a younger student who could get connected with you in any kind of way? What kind of resources are there available?
Yeah, so all of our resources are open to all of our students. So we always tell you, don't wait till your senior year to come and talk with us. You're almost too late. We want to work with you as much as possible, starting freshman year, going throughout your senior year. We have many things that sometimes employers will come on campus and host things. Where pre-COVID employers would come on campus and host things. Right now, a lot of those employers are hosting events via Handshake, and or our career development team is hosting events through Handshake or other platforms. So if you, we want you to come in and kind of develop that professionalism. We want to teach you kind of what to do, where to do it, how to interview via Stream. We have something called Interview Stream, where you can literally practice interviewing, and it records you and you can see yourself, and so you can build your skills that way, of course, and then a plethora of things. Many of our career coaches will go into classrooms as well and kind of give you general overviews, and then you can set appointments with them after that class or at any point. So we're not just for seniors. We actually encourage you to get to us and talk with us before your senior year so we can help guide you in many different pathways. When you come in freshman year, what you wanted to do freshman year, I pretty sure by the time you get to senior year, you've probably changed it about 2 or 3 times. And so we want to be there to help you. Me specifically in employer relations, if there's companies or organizations that you're interested in interning with or working for, I can work with you to get you those contacts to start talking with those companies to see what they're looking for in students that they hire and things like that, and interns that they hire. We use a platform called Career Shift as well. That gets you literally real time phone numbers, emails for people in those specific industries that you may be interested in. So we can utilize those to really get you connected before your senior year, so that by the time senior year comes, we want you to have an offer letter before their first semester is out. That's what we push for. So that's why we do these kind of things, so that you have the best opportunities possible to land that internship, land that job, work for any company that you want to work for, or what you can do to build to get to the company that you want to work for.
Very nice. Do you know about how many students we encounter who graduate from UNCG who have that offer letter in their hand before they graduate? Do you know?
I don't know specific numbers, and it most likely, if you ask the schools, it may vary by schools, but so we have some data, but we don't have all the data. So I couldn't give you a number at this current moment.
Yeah, that's all right. Thank you. I know particularly, like you said, for the School of Nursing, pretty much all of our nurses have jobs but when they graduate. Right. And then there's other very highly placed areas as well. Let's see. Our next question is for Brad. Are there any clubs or organizations for our military affiliated students, or just ways to meet students, veterans and military students on campus?
Yeah, there are. We have a student group that's run out of Campus Activities and Programs. It's the Student Veterans Association, and it is a chapter of the Student Veterans of America. So it is an affiliate of a national organization of student veterans. So not only will allow you to network and get to know your fellow military affiliated students on campus. You don't have to be an actual veteran to join the club. You can be a spouse or dependent as well. But it allows you to network with folks at other campuses as well. Primarily in terms of physically meeting folks on campus, that would be our office. We have a day room, and we have a TV in there and some gaming stuff, and a quiet study area where you can go and study if you need to, and print and things like that. But obviously now, we're not taking walk-in visitors to the office because of COVID. But once things begin to normalize and we're able to start taking students in to the office again, that's where primarily you'll come to meet your fellow military affiliated students, and that's in the Spring Garden Apartments. Just go down Spring Garden Street, and we're right across from Bojangles. Just look for the military flags.
Right across from the Bojangles. I think that's a pretty easily identifiable place. Thank you, Rad. I want to talk to our students, our Spartan Guides, Megan and Deja. Because you both work on campus, can either of y'all talk about how you balance work and school? And I think let's start with Megan, since you are here on campus. How difficult is that?
It can be difficult because I've actually worked like multiple jobs at a time while being a current student. And honestly, it's a very, very good lesson of just being a timely person, how to split yourself between different things, and also put school as your first priority. School is always going to be your first priority because that's why you're here at UNCG. So really, it's just a lot of time management, self-accountability, and I feel like that's really what I got from it, because it can be difficult, but it's a really great life lesson for whenever you leave the university, on how to manage your time and have a social life and go see your family, but also still value these other things.
Wonderful. I think time management is probably one of the more important things, because you'll hear any student say, what is your biggest weakness? And they will say time management. Something happens between your senior year of high school and your freshman year of college where your ability to keep a planner just goes down the drain. I felt it. I know the feeling. Deja, how about yourself? What is it like managing a virtual life and also work as well?
Yeah, so currently right now I have a full-time job. So I work 9 to 5:30 from home and then also taking, my classes and any other extracurricular activities I have. So, like Megan said, time management is really the key. I think it is possible for anyone. I don't think you should put so much on yourself. Start off gradually. Like, so my first year being a freshman, I worked at the Tropical Smoothie, and that was probably like, a little bit of hours throughout the week. Then I moved into on campus jobs. And I will say, with on campus jobs, they can definitely understand more that you are a student and that your first priority is school. So, being a resident advisor, maybe because I loved it so much, it didn't feel like a job for me. So something that I enjoyed, coming to the meetings, interacting with students. So find something that you enjoy on campus or even off campus, and it won't feel like it's a burden to you. But like Megan said, definitely time management is the key.
Yeah, that's definitely a really wonderful thing to point out is that, your jobs on campus, they are on campus. And so your employers are incredibly knowledgeable and incredibly accommodating to your life as a student because you are first and foremost a student. So we want to make sure that all of that is being taken care of beforehand. And speaking of making sure that we know that students are doing really well in their classes, Tina, a while ago we mentioned tutoring. And does the ORS office deal with any tutoring services, or how can students find a tutor?
So UNCG has a number of places on campus where students can receive tutoring services, and our office will refer students to those. Dean of Students Office will refer them to them. Other Sometimes it's within a school itself, like the School of Business has its own tutoring session. In other areas, the Academic Access Center has tutors available. Our office actually will go and provide training for those different tutoring groups so that they will have a better sense of how to work with some students with different types of disabilities.
Good to know. Thank you so much. And, again, like we said a while ago, it's included in your tuition. Use this because it's there for you. Alrighty, Shelly, I did a little bit of research, and I know that your office, the Dean of Students office, offers something called SMART planning. What exactly is SMART planning? Because it looks like it's an acronym.
Yes. So smart planning works with making smart goals. So it helps students to be able to plan ahead and to make sure that their goals are smart and so that they're specific and realistic, they're attainable, they're, oh boy, you've got me on, they're time sensitive, and I'm sure somebody else here knows the other one. So making sure that when our students set goals, that it's not a goal of, I'm going to graduate in 4 years. It's a great goal, but let's make it more specific, right? So let's help you to maintain that, because how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? So it's really helping students to make sure that they're planning in a way that works for them. So our office has a lot of different niche things that we work on, and smart planning is one of those. So it's another way to get students in our office to know about our services and a support that we can provide to them, but also gives us an opportunity to work one-on-one with students to be able to plan and to help them to look ahead and make sure that they're creating goals for themselves that are specific and that they're attainable and things that our students can do.
I think that's one of the most important things that any student anywhere, and especially as a person who has moved out of the student world and into the professional student world, making SMART goals, so those specific and I can't remember the rest, like you said, but attainable and all of that, making sure that you can achieve those goals and setting methods for achieving them is really, really important. I do want to end with one more question for Michael. Oh, hey, they just put a graphic on my screen of what SMART means. So it is smart, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. I think relevant might have been the one that we were missing, but SMART goals are important. Anywho, Michael, a while ago you mentioned career fairs, so I would like if you could just to give us a little bit more information on what are some of the companies that typically come out and talk with our graduates and hire them.
Whew, that's a lot of different companies that come out to do that. Usually we have about over 100 different companies that come to just one given career fair. So just to name a few, we have Amazon, you'll have Cone Health, you'll have Pepsi, you'll have Hanes Brands, you'll have different arts organizations, so nonprofit organizations like the North Carolina Theater, Burning Coal Theater, and then just a plethora of other companies. Our own UNCG will come out to the career fair. Our HR will come out to the career fair because we love to hire UNCG students. Enterprise, Truist. So just to name a few, those are a few great ones. We'll have the CIA, so Central Intelligence Agency. So if you want to work in government and things like that, FBI, we'll have the police department. So Raleigh Police Department will come, Greensboro Police Department will come. We'll have different finance groups like Northwestern Mutual will come. That's just a few off the top of my head, but there's so many that come out and engage with students and come to the career fairs, but also do other things. So like I said, events and things like that, they'll host for students to learn about the opportunities at those different places. So we really work hard to make sure that we have a variety of different companies so that every student has kind of their niche at that career fair to go to, and that it's not just a company that's looking for one specific type of student. We want to make sure that our arts administration students are just as successful at the career fair as our business students or our nursing students or our interior architecture students. So we want to make sure that we have a broad, vast majority of different companies to make sure that we're able to hit a lot of different targets.
Very nice. It's always nice to know that we are able to guide as many students towards success as possible. Well, friends, we are getting close to the end of our time together, so I want to do just a bit of a recap with all of our panelists. And I'm going to start with our staff people, and then I'm going to ask our students another question. So let's begin our wrap up with Tina. And Tina, the question that I have for you and for all of our professional people here is, what is the biggest takeaway that you want any prospective student to remember about how your office can help them out?
Trey, I think that the answer to that question is relative to all the departments represented here, and that is, don't wait. Come and talk to us early on and let us be a resource for you. So please come and visit us. We're here and our jobs are to help you. That's what we want to do.
Very nice. Thank you. All right, Shelly, what you got for us?
I agree with Tina. I will also say that when you don't know and you look at your roadmap and you're like, I don't even know how to get to this X here, call our office, email us, schedule an appointment. We know a lot about a lot. And so we can most certainly point you in the right direction. We can help you solve a problem a lot sooner and a lot quicker and with a lot less stress to yourself. So reach out, ask for help. We are here for you. Again, you pay for our office. So thank you for that. So use our office, call us, reach out. Don't delay, reach out as soon as you can.
Good to know. All right, Brad, what could you tell to a prospective student?
So I have one thing that I always tell to my prospective students. First of all, Shelly, I really like that. We know a lot about a lot. We do. This team knows a lot about a lot. So if you're a military affiliated student, or applicant, I always tell you, if you don't have to call the cops or the paramedics, call us first, because we're always going to advocate for you. You may have to call Shelly first in some cases, but most of the times you can call me for anything. And I've been here for 1,000 years, and so I know everybody also. So if I'm not the person who's eventually going to help you, just call me and I'll make sure you get set up.
And Brad's phone number is on your screen.
It is on your screen right there. Look at that. Three
Perfect.
in a row. 3 in a row I pointed to the right side of the screen. It's a personal record.
Yep. All righty, Michael, what would you tell to any prospective student about how your office can help them out?
Yep, I would definitely echo everything everyone else has said. Don't be scared. Ask us questions. We're here to make sure that we're supporting you in any way that we can. I always tell students in this role and in my previous role, one of your main reasons for going to school is to get a job afterwards. So don't wait for us. Don't wait to talk to us until your senior year. Come and talk to us now so that we can help you. We can plan it out and we can literally vet your plan to see if that's really what you want to do. And if it's not, it's totally okay. Let's help you figure that out and find what that plan is or what that path is, get you some internships, get you some job experience, some shadowing opportunities, and let's see if we can make the best so that hopefully your first job you absolutely love, and then you can continue to grow after that.
Very nice. I think key takeaway is here, we are here. Alrighty, so I'm going to ask our Spartan Guides and our students, take us home. What do you think makes UNCG special? Megan, let's hear from you first.
Oh goodness, there's so many variety of answers I could choose, but I think one of the things that really drew me to UNCG that's really unique is just all of the opportunities and all the staff and all the people that are here to support you. There's a slide on our virtual tour that is like, so the Spartan Guides say like what brought them to UNCG, and what brought me to UNCG is just the absolute care and the professionalism and the amount of staff and students and faculty that are just here to only support and see you grow and succeed. And so honestly, that is what is so unique to me about UNCG.
Very nice. Thank you, Megan. All right, Deja, what you got for us? Take us home.
Same thing like Megan said. I think UNCG is just a very welcoming, opening, just friendly area. It's a friendly place. My first time coming to UNCG, I knew that that was a school for me. It was the first school I actually ever toured. And it was just something about the campus and something about the people. I knew that I could come here, be my absolute truest self, and that people would accept me for who I am.
Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Well, everyone, I appreciate our time together today. I am so grateful that I am able to work with and be around such amazing people all the time, people who are so ready to help and so willing to do so as well. So thank you to all of our panelists, and thank you to all of our viewers who were able to join us today. I'm glad that you were here. Join us again tomorrow because we're going to have another one of these live sessions where you're going to be able to find out some more stuff. So thank you for being with us, and we hope to see you again soon. We'll see y'all later. Bye.